Folks, I want you to imagine with me for a moment that you're at a giant party filled with people of every sort. You got flowing evening gowns, immaculate tuxedos, intermingling with suspicious-smelling suspenders and muffin-top Daisy Dukes. I mean, everybody's there. Everyone is there. And in the center of it all sits a gigantic punch bowl from which everybody's getting a drink. All of a sudden, somebody notices a cat turd in the middle of the punch bowl. And just like that, nobody can talk about anything but the cat turd. A famous politician stands behind it, uses the attention it's drawn to give stump speeches, rallying cries for freedom, and occasionally a call to call people fat. Then he gets the boot because you can't be mean around the cat turd, or at least a certain kind of mean around it. By this point, everyone is obsessed with it. They practically worship it, in fact. Then a billionaire comes along and buys the cat turd and the punch bowl in which it floats, and people lose their damn minds. The New York Stock Exchange delists the cat turd. People right and left, but let's face it, mostly left, weep openly because once the billionaire gets his greedy hands on it, the cat turd will just never be the same. After all, he's going to let the politician come back. They're throwing themselves out of windows, vowing that they'll never return, which is weird because the windows are all on the first floor, and they all return within a few minutes to see if anybody noticed them leaving. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Twitter controversy, summed up in a nutshell. If it isn't patently obvious to you by now that social media is, in general, and Twitter specifically, is the turd in the punch bowl, it's probably never going to be. Now, Elon Musk has taken over ownership of the company, fired the layabout managerial types who no doubt spent most of their days holding down the lounge chairs in the building, and is putting together an advisory board to begin bringing its ex-communicants back into the fold, including most likely Donald Trump, if he's interested. Like a coy lover, Trump has said in statements that he prefers his own platform, Truth, but you can kind of see him batting his eyes back at Twitter nevertheless. Sure, the side piece might be fun and all, but at the end of the day, you got to come home to the old ball and chain, right? Well, who knows? And here's an even bigger question. Who cares? Yes, if Trump reascends the throne, meaning his toilet, and starts tweeting out again to the masses, he'll no doubt boost his own support should he decide to run again in 2024. And no doubt some of the things he tweets out in the interim will be important, but as I've said before, if Elon Musk's inaugural move as the new owner of Twitter was to walk in the building and kick the plug out of the wall, I'd celebrate. Just kick it out of the wall, Elon. We've spent so much time over the past several years understandably excoriating social media companies like Twitter for their unfair handling of conservative voices that many of us have forgotten the deeper truth. Social media itself is the biggest part of the problem. The fundamental ideas upon which social media is built lend themselves to a kind of isolation and even nihilism that can do nothing but long-term harm to the American public and the world at large. Man cannot live by bread alone, and he cannot communicate by text alone, or things go wonky. Now, I'm glad Elon Musk took over Twitter. I am. I really am. And if we're going to have social media in our world, and I think it would be foolish to assume that we're not, then it may as well be run by the fairest-minded among us. And Musk, well, he seems at least right now to lean that way. But let's not forget at the end of the day that the thing we're all obsessing over is a big old hunk of cat shit floating around in the punch bowl.
It's quite
you can take that same analogy and add it to Kanye West. I mean, you really can, basically. I'm so sick and tired of these people making things that are supposed to be important. They're not important.
Yeah.
Twitter's not real life. How many Twitter followers did you gain over the weekend, though?
Quite a bit.
Yeah. I think I added 8,000.
Yeah.